This video is sponsored by CorelDRAW. Most artists only work in one or a couple different art styles, but I paint just about anything, so when I start a new painting, one of the first things I ask myself is what art style to paint. Impressionism, surrealism, pop art. Well, I've been diving into this new painting series, and honestly, I've been really excited about it. It's a crazy mix of vibrant colors, street art vibes, and these fun chibi characters. I've been calling them chibi graffitis, which is probably what I'll end up calling this entire series. They're these abstract, colorful explosions with graffiti elements, these cute stylized characters, and in this video, I'm going to paint a new one, and while I paint, I'll walk you through how I came up with this art style. Then, maybe it'll give you some ideas on developing your own art style. One thing I haven't done with this series yet is paint an original character. I've been having a blast with fan art, some amazing characters have gotten the chibi graffiti treatment, but without doing my own original character in this style, it doesn't feel like it's truly mine yet. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I think it's time to unleash my imagination and create something entirely unique in this chibi graffiti style. So I sketched out this little mouse guy who I'm calling Squeak, but unfortunately my iPad decided to take a dirt nap right before I recorded the sketching process. And when my iPad decided to take a permanent vacation, I panicked. A lot of my initial sketching and digital work happens right here. But luckily I had a backup plan, and now it's become more than just a backup. I'm talking about CorelDRAW. Now, if you haven't heard of CorelDRAW, it's a very powerful vector graphic software that's perfect for artists who want to create clean, scalable artwork. And it was a lifesaver. I was able to use it to refine my initial sketch, but I can also create detailed vector elements that I can use for paintings, t-shirts, stickers, murals, or graphic design. And what's great about CorelDRAW is its flexibility. Unlike some other programs, it's not limited to just one platform. I can use it on PC, Mac, or even a new iPad, which is perfect for my workflow because I feel way more comfortable with a pen instead of a mouse. So if you're interested in checking it out, I've got a link in the description where you can get a free trial. Plus, if you decide to purchase CorelDRAW using my link, you'll be supporting the channel, which helps me create more artwork and videos like this one. Getting back to the painting, I'm working on an 11x14 canvas using my favorite paints, Golden Brand. The first thing I'm going to do is paint this vibrant, random paint splatter background. Now, before talking about how to create your own art style, one thing to consider is where you want to go with your style. What are you hoping to achieve by creating a new art style? For this series, I really wanted to blend my love for street art, character design, and vibrant colors. But you don't exactly have to know what direction you're going in, because it's not like I knew where I wanted to end up with these paintings. In fact, I didn't even know I was creating a series when I started. This series started because I used to be super meticulous with my artwork to the point that I would spend months on a single piece, just trying to get every little detail perfect. But honestly, all it did was lead to a lot of stress, and when I would finish a painting, the only things that I would see is everything I could have done better. So I needed to change things up. That's when I decided to simplify things by painting character outlines on solid color backgrounds, which was a huge relief to not overthink everything that I was doing. But for me, this was just too simple. Even though people really liked them, it felt like it needed more. And that's when I added a splash of blue on a painting of Johnny Bravo. The blue splatter on a yellow background really popped. So I started experimenting with paint splatter as a background. And that's where I found these super vibrant, chaotic explosions of color. I'd already been experimenting with a few chibi characters, so I knew that I wanted to incorporate them into this series, but it still felt like it was missing something. So next, I needed to bring in the street art element. The chibi characters reminded me a lot of street art characters that I've always loved in graffiti and murals, so I wanted to add graffiti elements to these paintings. And if I was going to add graffiti, I really wanted the words in the painting to relate to the characters. And that's pretty much it. That's how this entire series came together. It's just a mix of simplifying my process, experimenting with colors, and bringing in street art influences. But that's just the surface level. The real magic happens when you start pulling from everything that inspires you. Developing your own art style isn't about inventing something completely new out of thin air. It's about being a curator of your own interests and taking pieces of what resonates within you and weaving them together in a way that feels authentic. Think of it like cooking. You might love Italian food, but you also appreciate the spiciness of Mexican cuisine. So you start experimenting and maybe you add some chili flakes to your pasta or you try using different spices in your pizza sauce. You're not just copying either style, you're creating something that's uniquely yours. In my case, I've always been drawn to bold lines and expressive pop culture characters. I also love the raw energy and spontaneity of street art, especially when it includes pop culture characters. And of course, I've always been fascinated by vibrant colors and abstract forms in modern art, especially when it includes pop culture characters. Yeah, I get it, I'm a huge nerd. But I started asking myself, how can I combine these elements in a way that feels natural? It's a process of trial and error over time, and some combinations work while others don't. But every experiment teaches you something new, and every mistake is a potential opportunity. This style really evolved through a series of happy accidents and just playing around with different ideas. It started with my Itchy Tom piece, which was a Tom and Jerry meets Itchy and Scratchy crossover painting. And I loved the contrast of the white outlines against the red background when it was finished. Then I started experimenting with outlines, but I missed using color, so I added a little more to this Spider-Man painting. Then I added a splash of the blue on the Johnny Bravo. Then I thought, what if I add a splash of yellow to this Batman painting? And the end result was that it looked awesome. That's when the abstract background started taking shape. So creating a new art style is really about pulling influences from your favorite artists or inspirations, incorporating them together, and if they don't clash, you give it a name and make as many as you can. And now I have an original character to make this art style feel like it's my own. So let's take another look at it. I think it's incredible, but it's not just about the final product. It's about the journey, the exploration, the constant evolution. So what do you think? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this style. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other painting videos, and I'll see you next time.